What is the saddest song you've ever heard? The Night We Met by Lord Huron. No matter where I am, if I'm happy, who I'm with, etc. I'll bawl my eyes out if that song plays. It's so painful and true because one day they're there and they're your everything and then they start slipping until they're gone and you wished you could go back to before you met them so you wouldn't have to go through the pain of losing them. Just the lyrics I had all and then most of you. Some and now none of you hit this. People falling out of love in relationships. Growing apart with friends. Family members passing. etc. Is what this hits for me and it hits hard. I had all and then most of you. Some and now none of you. That line is wonderfully poetic. It's not a sad song as far as lyrics go. But I used to sing Here Comes the Sun to my daughter from the time she was born. Even into her teenage years. It was our song but she committed suicide at 17 and I can't even think about it or hear the first two chords without losing it. My daughter also took her own life and there are so many songs I just can't listen to because they remind me of when she was happy. Also can't listen to Forever Young without losing it. I know your pain and time healing all wounds is a lie. Some wounds will never fully heal and you never know when something is going to open the wound again. The Show Must Go On by Queen. The song is basically Freddie admitting he is sick and about to die even though publicly he denied he was ill. Does anybody know what we are living for? I guess I'm learning. I must be warmer now. I'll soon be turning. Round the corner now. Outside the dawn is breaking. But inside in the dark I'm aching to be free. Leaves from the vine. Falling so slow. Like fragile tiny shells. Drifting in the foam. Little soldier boy. Comes marching home. Brave soldier boy. Comes marching home. Strange Fruit by Billie Holiday. Now we need a Spotify playlist for everyone who just needs a good cry. I have a playlist called Songs to Sing in the Shower so you can't tell if you're crying or not. Edit. Link for those interested. https://open. Spotify.com playlist /2jnxu0L51I5SVWBBQNBBH. C equals 789 a 709 F 70,724,413. The music in it probably isn't for everyone. But I never really intended to share it. Also, I love everyone who got the BJH reference. Double also. Can't believe I got an award for this dumb comment. Thanks. Bonnie Raitt I Can't Make You Love Me. Bjork and Tom York, I've seen it all. From the film Dancer in the Dark. Woman is going blind and York is enticing her with all the things she hasn't seen yet. But she just dismisses each of them and says it's okay because she's seen it all. Edit. For those not familiar with it, Bjork did both the soundtrack and acted in this film. It was famously traumatizing for her and she has not spoken to the director since. This song was nominated for Best Original Song at the 2001 Oscars and Bjork arrived in a dress made to look like a swan that was created by a friend of hers amidst all the high-end Hollywood fashion. While she was made fun of for that, I like to think that it has aged well and is now seen as a beautiful dress. I swear it took me a week to recover from watching that film. Great song too. George Jones, He Stopped Loving Her Today, https://www.youtube.com watch, v equals vex 77xjsbq. This was my grandfather's favorite song and we had it playing when they turned off his life support 11 months after my grandma died. It'll always be my favorite sad song. Mine is Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. It's so heartbreaking. You are my sunshine. Everything but the chorus is heartbreaking. Few people know anything but the chorus though. There was a scene in The L Word where a character was talked into leaving her dying love's hospital room to get some air. She visited the gift shop and bought a silly dancing sunflower that sang that song. When she gets back the staff is shutting off all of the alarms in her room. She collapses in the hall and the sunflower is set off. Screen fades to black with that damned song playing and her crying. Not going to lie. That broke me. My 10-year-old sang Remember Me from Coco at my father's funeral. The end of that movie was already an onion cutter. But now Sugar Skulls make me ugly cry. OMG, this one is a contender for saddest song of all time just because of how that movie hits. I haven't been able to rewatch it. Wish You Were Here Pink Floyd. Edit. If I may I'll chime in another song which per se is not so depressing but these two lines from it always make my heart heavy. So I'm gonna hurl myself against the wall. Cause I'd rather feel bad than not feel anything at all. Semicolon ain't that pretty at all by Warren Zevon. The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. How to Disappear Completely by Radiohead. Haunting instrumental. Depression dripping through every line of lyrics. I'm not here. This isn't happening. I listened to this song 221 times in 2020. Good year for your boy. I will follow you into the dark. Death Cab for Cutie. For me. What Sarah said tops this one in terms of sad. Brothers in Arms gets me every time. Pictures of You, The Cure. It's insanely heartbreaking and soul crushing all at the same time. Father and Son, Cat Stevens. The line for You May Still Be Here Tomorrow, But Your Dreams May Not, is the single most brutal line in any song. 4th of July, Sufjan Stevens. The Carrie and Little album wrecks me. You Want It Darker, https://www.youtube.com watch, V equals V0 Leonard Cohen. A sample of the lyrics. They're lining up the prisoners. And the guards are taking aim. I struggled with some demons. They were middle class and tame. I didn't know I had permission to murder and to maim. You Want It Darker. Into Dust by Mazzy Star gets me. Fade Into You by Mazzy Star has always gotten me. Exit music for a film by Radiohead. Father and Son Cat Stevens. Looks like every song I came here to say is already said. Ha. I discovered a lot of songs including this one 2017/18 that made me cry along with Hurt, Johnny Cash. Haven't had the courage to listen to these songs, or any since I lost my father a year ago. I hope I am able to at least listen to them. Musical note, it's not time to make a change. Just relax. Take it easy. You're still young. That's your fault. There's so much you have to know. Find a girl. Settle down. If you want you can marry. Look at me. I am old. But I'm happy. Musical note. Punch right in the gut. Elephant by Jason Isbell. Came here to say If We Were Vampires by Isbell. Glad to see here's the top rated comment. Elephant will hit you hard. But vampires will have you on the floor sobbing. Also Cats in Cradle tears me up. After hearing about the song for so long. I finally looked it up a few months ago. My son is currently 16 months. Yes. I cried just reading the lyrics. Nutshell by Alice in Chains. The version from MTV Unplugged, https://youtube.b/9ek2e9dvy8. His voice is so fucking haunting. Brick, Ben Folds 5. Sam Stone by John Prine. There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes. Alternatively, Hello and There from the same album. Prine had a way with lyrics that just left everyone else in the dust. His passing hit hard. Cancer by My Chemical Romance. The counting down the days just gets me. Knowing you're going to die and nothing can change that. Watching your friends and family reacting to the slow burn but you're still here, just living as dead man for the last few days of your life. Black, Pearl Jam. I know you'll be a star in somebody else's sky. But why can't it be mine? Is one of those lyrics that has never failed to give me goosebumps. No matter how many times I hear the song. I Know It's Over. https://youtube.com watch, V equals M601 Sedge 02T0, by The Smiths. What About Asleep? I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton. You can really tell she fucking lived that song. Surprisingly it was written about her platonic friendship with Porter Wagoner. He was her mentor and helped start her career by putting her on his show. And the song was written when she decided to leave it. Angel by Sarah McLachlan. It's bad enough that the song is literally about a man accidentally committing suicide by heroin overdose. Now the ASPCA has also attached images of abused, neglected, and abandoned animals to it. Anyone not immediately reduced to tears as soon as they hear the first note should be red flagged as a potential serial killer. Edit corrections in italics. She said it was about the Smashing Pumpkins keyboardist who died of a heroin overdose. https://en.m. Wikipedia. Org Wiki Angel, Sarah McLachlan song. High Hopes by Pink Floyd. It's all sad. But the slide guitar solos are somehow sadder than lyrics ever could be. Whiskey Lover by Alison Krauss and Brad Paisley. That video fucking guts you. Holy shit. Time in a Bottle by Jim Croce. I'm about to turn the age Jim was when he died in just a matter of months. Just thinking of how much we missed out on because he died so soon and thinking of how much of the best part of my life I'd miss out on if I were to pass fucks me up. Real Death, Mount Eerie. Only album I consider perfect. And also the only album I love that I have zero desire to listen to ever again. Adam's song by Blink-182 always upsets me greatly. Insert Elliott Smith song. Between the Bars. One of either. Me and a Gun. Tori Amos. A cappella with Amos singing about being raped at gunpoint, based on something that actually happened to her. Margaret vs. Pauline. Nico case. Story of two women. One who has all the luck and the other who doesn't. Sylvia. The Antlers. Actually that whole album. Hospice. Breaks me, but this song in particular just leaves me in a mess every time. Barber's Adagio 4 strings. https://www.youtube.com watch. V equals ISX0L450 doesn't even need lyrics to be the saddest piece of music I ever heard. Landslide. Casimir Pulaski Day. Sufjan Stevens. Wins this thread most times whenever it's posted. 4th of July. Especially the live version. Is so beautifully haunting. Zombie makes me cry no matter how often I hear it. Me personally. The Offspring. Gone Away. The Kids and Alright gets me. That is basically everyone I grew up with. I dunno that it's the saddest. But Dancing with Tears in My Eyes occurs to me immediately. Edited to add, it's by Ultravox. Also, Mad World by Tears for Fears. No. Not the cover version. Or the other cover version. The original one by Tears for Fears. Edited to add, and then there's Winter Kills by Yazoo, or Yaz. Here in the Us. What a freaking dirge of a song about, well. Go read the lyrics. https://www.aslyrics.com lyrics Yazoo Winter Kills. HTML. Ouch. The Tears for Fears deserves more recognition for that song. I love the combination of the more enthusiastic production with those dark lyrics. I have also read that they wanted that version for Donnie Darko but the copyrights were too expensive. I wonder which version would have been more popular now if they went for the original. Cherry Wine Hosier. The song is about domestic violence from the victim's point of view, which is sad in itself, but what's even sadder is that it still is a love song. The music video is devastating. I don't think I've ever cried that much watching something. 100% one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. Hosier is underrated ASF. Especially the lyric. Her fight and fury is fiery. Oh but she loves. Like sleep to the freezing. It gives me chills every time. The Funeral. Band of Horses. Samson. Regina Spektor. This one is heartbreaking. Blue Lips and Laughing at God always make me cry too. And So It Goes. Billy Joel. https://www.youtube.com watch. V equals OQHFAMFA. This Woman's Work Kate Bush. Landslide Fleetwood Mac. Decades by Joy Division. This along with the two other songs right before it that cap off the band's final album before lead singer Ian Curtis killed himself feel like his suicide note. Doesn't scream in your face crying like some other sad songs. It feels too tired to move and accepting that he's ending it all as soon as possible. The haunting and trippy gothic vibes fit perfectly with the disco-like instrumentation. Feels too depressed to fight back and too tired to be scared that nothing will get better. Nothing has been getting better. The illusion that anything would be of your life from your childhood already had slowly crumbled away and you're just laying down in whatever is left remaining. Ian killed himself shortly after they recorded this and before it could be released. Hurt both versions but especially the cash cover. Radiohead, motion picture soundtrack. See also, How to Disappear Completely, and True Love Waits. Easily the three saddest Radiohead songs. Of course. Their entire discography is full of sad songs. But these three are just on another level of sad. Both Sides Now, Joni Mitchell. Its use in Love actually just cements it. One More Light, Linkin Park. After Chester's death, the song became even more powerful. I can never listen to the song without feeling broken. Wow, so many comments already, but I'll still chime in. Fix You, Coldplay. The first time I heard that song, my mum had just died and my boyfriend and I were very rocky and I couldn't find a decent job no matter how hard I was trying. I bawled when I heard the lyrics. and the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace, my mum. When you love someone but it goes to waste, my now ex-boyfriend. When you try your best but you don't succeed, being generally directionless and unsuccessful. Could it be worse? Song gets me every time. Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Who Wants to Live Forever? Philadelphia, Neil Young. Neil Young has a ton. Highly underrated lyricist. People think of him more as a grunge rocker. Needle and the Damage Done. Man Needs a Maid. Caught as the Killer. Changes from Black Sabbath. Crossroads, Bone Thugs. Baker Street. A Life Unlived. Dreams That Never Come to Pass. Hero of War, Rise Against. Fire and Rain, James Taylor. And Cats in the Cradle, not sure. Cat's Cradle is Harry Chapin. He's got a few songs that hit pretty hard, but that's probably the top of the list. Time, Pink Floyd. The sun is the same in a relative way but you're older. The Sound of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel. I don't know if sad but songs that made me cry were You Are My Sunshine. I didn't know the song until someone asked here about things that make other people cry and someone said they saw in the hospital they worked an old woman singing this to her sick husband. So I went to YouTube with curiosity and that ended in tears. Green Grass. I don't know what about this song. I like the Cosmo Sheldrake version which is the one I first heard. And also Tom Waits. Is like it's sung from the grave or by a person sending lots of love to a grieving partner. Daddy by Coldplay. In the comments section someone told the story of the father of a girl that died by suicide. Listening to this song and starting to cry. And it's all I can think of when I hear it. If you look up the entire lyrics to You Are My Sunshine, it's an incredibly sad song. Happy Birthday being sung to my autistic friend by his mum and me after no one else showed up at his party. I wake up night sometimes randomly feeling awful about it. Poor guy. Alone Again Naturally, by Gilbert O'Sullivan. Looking back over the years, and whatever else that appears, I remember I cried when my father died, never wishing to hide the tears. And at 65 years old, my mother, God rest her soul, couldn't understand why the only man she had ever loved had been taken, leaving her to start with a heart so badly broken. Despite encouragement from me, no words were ever spoken. And when she passed away, I cried and cried all day. Alone Again, Naturally. If You Could Read My Mind. Gordon Lightfoot. Lightning Crashes, Live. As the World Caves in Matt Maltese. Runaway Train. How to Save a Life by The Fray. The backstory for the song is really sad, inspired by troubled kids who got cut off by their families due to addiction. And it also reminds me of the Scrubs episode where Dr. Cox loses 3 patients. How to Save a Life from the Fray. Especially in this one Scrubs episode. Youth. By Daughter. Medicine and Candles are up there for me. All I Want. Codaline. The End. By The Doors. This is the end. Beautiful friend. This is the end. My only friend. The end. Of our elaborate plans. The end. Of everything that stands. The end. No safety or surprise. The end. I'll never look into your eyes. Again. Dance with My Father, Luther Vandross. The MASH theme song. Suicide is Painless. Seasons in the Sun by Terry Jacks. For me it's more of how the song makes me feel. Nutshell, Alice in Chains. Or Not a Country Fan but Almost Home. Craig Morgan had me in tears one drunk night. LMAO. Jar of Fly Sap still sounds so good all these years later. What's Going On Marvin Gaye. We never learn and that is the saddest thing. The day that Robert Palins murdered me. It was also the night that the skeletons came to life. Me and a Gun, Tori Amos. First-hand account of being raped. At 17, Janice Ian. Carrie Underwood, Just a Dream. I cannot listen to it whatsoever. It's heartbreaking and I pretty much get super depressed and cry. The preacher man said let us bow our heads and pray. Lord please lift his soul and heal this hurt. Then the congregation all stood up and sang the saddest song that she ever heard. Then they handed her a folded up flag and she held on to all she had left of him. Oh. And what could have been. And then guns rang one last shot. and it felt like a bullet in her heart. Funeral by Phoebe Bridgers or Cancer by My Chemical Romance, or Losers by Spanish Love Songs. Like a Stone by Audioslave. Maybe not saddest, but something. Just a Song Before I Go by Crosby, Stills and Nash. Neon Gravestone: one of the rawest discussion of suicide, and the singer Tyler Joseph talks about how suicide shouldn't be glorified and concludes the song with the following lines. Find your grandparents or someone of age. Pay some respects for the path that they paved. To life they were dedicated. Now, that should be celebrated. A lot of Top's songs are depressing. Neon Gravestone stands out though. Agnes by Glass Animals. Another Love, Tom Odell. I Can't Make You Love Me by Bonnie Raitt. Skinny Love by Bon Iver. Stable Song by Gregory Alan Issakoff. Jar of Hearts. Rips my heart out every damn time. Limousine by Brand New. It is about a flower girl at a wedding who was killed by a drunk driver if I recall correctly. It has been a while since I heard it because it legit makes me too sad. The lyrics are incredibly dense and metaphorical, and the music mirrors the falling and rising emotion of the story. Such a strange, beautiful, and heartbreaking song. Mike and the Mechanics, The Living Years, https://www.youtube.com watch, v=5hr64mxibk. Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. I find that the older I get, the more meaning this song has. If the World Was Ending, JP Sachs and Julia Michaels. Sometime around midnight, Airborne Toxic Event. The Vev, The Drugs Don't Work, https://www.youtube.com watch, v=tox0n3 atoy, https://www.youtube.com watch, v=tox0n3 atoy. IDK if it's the saddest song I have ever heard, but Sad Day by FKA Twigs always makes me cry. Also the outro of Self Control by Frank Ocean. The Winner Takes It All by ABBA. Yes, it's ABBA, but the lyrics to this song are an absolutely brutal depiction of a couple going through a divorce. Bjorn and Anetha claim it wasn't about their own divorce, but the sheer raw emotion and the way Anetha sings this song, punch in the gut. Adagio for Strings by Baba makes me tear up every time I hear it. Saddest song I can think of. Danny Boy at a friend's funeral 10 years ago. His sister and his GF all passed away in a house fire, all in their early 20s. It was an Irish wake and the mix of grief and whiskey joy was something else. He Stopped Loving Her Today, George Jones or Delta Dawn by Tanya Tucker. Gloomy Sunday, Billie Holiday. Freya Ridings, Lost Without You. I'll pay £100 to anyone that can listen to this song without tearing up a little bit. The Icicle Melts, The Cranberries. Little Green, Joni Mitchell. A Drop in the Ocean, Ron Pope. Henryk Górecki, Symphony No. 3 is 25 minutes of nearly unbearable sadness. I cannot overstate this enough. It's absolutely heartbreaking. I've probably listened to it maybe 30, 40 times. Each time has reduced me to tears. However, sometimes on rare occasions it's totally euphoric. It sounds completely mad, but just listen to it. The saddest song, Streetlight Manifesto. It literally says it's the saddest song you'll ever hear in the lyrics. Hear You Me by Jimmy Eat World. Between the Bars, Elliott Smith. Virtue the Cat explains her departure, The Weak Earthens. Get Better, All J. The line I still pretend you're only out of sight in another room gets me every time. Vincent Starry, Starry Night. Surprisingly, The Polish Cow Song. Jeff Buckley, Lover, You Should Have Come Over. His dad's song To the Siren belongs on this list too. Kettering, The Antlers, album, Hospice. The entire album is incredibly sad, but so good. Honey by Bobby Goldsboro.